Hello everyone and welcome back guys, where today we're here back with a brand new video. This time around we're here with the Season 5 of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode Season Review. Yes, arguably I'd say our strongest season so far of the My Team Career Mode. And of course in just a minute I will explain to you guys why I believe that as well. But of course our 4th World Championship, very happy to take that. I think the most dominant season we've had in terms of the gap to P2 in the championship. Like I said though, Season 6 will hopefully be starting over the course of this weekend. So obviously if you guys aren't already for whatever reason, do make sure you get yourself subscribed for the final season of our My Team Career Mode. We've also got some very exciting content coming to the channel over the next couple of weeks as well. So I can't tell you guys what it is just yet, but you definitely want to be around for it as well then. But having a bit of a recap then of Season 5 there, you can see we took 10 race victories over the course of the championship, 3 second places and then a further 5 third places there. Means we just had 3 races where we didn't score a podium, 1 race over the course of the entire year where we didn't score a single point there. It comes in just behind, I think it was Season 3 even it must have been. You can see last year, unfortunately we had a DNF at the Singapore Grand Prix, and then the season before that, you can see our worst result of the entire campaign was 5th place, once again actually, at Singapore. Has not been a good track to me on F1 2020 so far there. But you can see further back, of course, a couple of non-point scores. I mean, we've had, what, 4 non-point scores in the last 4 seasons of the My Team Career Mode there. You can see all the way back to Season 1. A bit of a rougher time for 212 Motorsport as we really started in the early days of this championship. But yeah, I'd say Season 5 was probably the best season we've had on F1 2020 My Team so far. 10 race victories matches our Season 3 result there. We took 10 race victories in that World Championship as well there. I mean, what, 17 fastest laps that season as well there. But the fact we were able to equal that last season with generally not the fastest car, and even if we were still the fastest, not by very much, unlike Season 3. Obviously, for those of you guys that have been around for a while, you'll remember our Season 3 car was, I mean, I think Singapore, we qualified, myself and George Russell qualified 2.5 seconds clear of anyone else. We still didn't even win that Grand Prix somehow, if you guys remember back there. But yeah, Season 5, 10 race victories is absolutely insane there. Not as many fastest laps as we've had in championships gone by. Again, just goes to show how, although we were still very quick and still getting the bigger results, obviously a lot of the time, fastest lap isn't actually claimed by the driver that wins a Grand Prix in Formula 1 nowadays there as well. So you can see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fastest laps is certainly not bad going. I mean, we still scored more points in fastest laps other than the Williams, Haas, Alfa Romeos did combined outright, of course, at the end of the day there. But yeah, certainly was a very interesting season. You can see Nicholas Latifi's 1 point he scored for the 10th place at the Spanish Grand Prix was absolutely critical at the end of the year there. We had just behind him, Jordan King had that 11th place in France. And then you can see Kevin Magnussen's best result of the entire campaign was a 14th place at the French Grand Prix as well there. Matsushita, a best season result of 15th at Spain. And then you can see right down towards the rear of the field there, Giovinazzi had a 15th at the Monaco Grand Prix. And then Nick De Vries, a best career result, or season result even, sorry, 16th place all the way in Mexico there, meant that he finished last at the end of the World Championship. Reliability, though, for the most part, pretty good over the course of the year. Now, like I said, obviously, we had no DNFs. Pierre Gasly only had the 1 DNF over the course of the year there. George Russell, 3 DNFs. He didn't finish Australia, he didn't finish Vietnam, and he didn't finish Abu Dhabi to finish off the campaign there as well. I'm sure very gutted with that. Our teammate Verstappen as well, no DNFs over the course of the year. But, I mean, 6 non-point scoring finishes there. It really was a very poor season from our teammate Max Verstappen. If I do remember correctly, I'm pretty certain he did actually retire from Spain, but was still classified there as well as Belgium, I want to say. But 13th at Austria, 12th at Britain, and then 13th at Singapore and another 12th at Russia. Really just a rough season from our teammate there, finishing 199 points behind us. I honestly believed Max Verstappen was going to be the guy that could take a world title away from us. But yeah, I mean, 3 wins. His last win was at the French Grand Prix quite early on in the season there. Of course, he almost won Abu Dhabi to finish off the campaign there, but didn't quite walk away with the dub there. But yeah, 3 first places, 5 seconds though. Very much the bridesmaid throughout a lot of the World Championship there from our teammate Max Verstappen. Now, the same can be said for Pierre Gasly. 5 second places as well over the course of Season 5 before he finally won that Grand Prix in Japan there, and even won the last 2 races on the bounce to jump George Russell to a P2 overall in the Drivers' Championship. Gasly is looking incredibly strong ready for Season 6 of this career mode there, and the same can be said for AlphaTauri, of course, there. Further down, though, Bottas, only the 1 DNF, but again, a pretty quiet year from Valtteri for the most part. That 1 win at the Hungaroring there was very, very critical for him, but I mean, he scored, yeah, what, 3rd place in Vietnam was the only points he scored in the first 6 Grand Prix there. That is absolutely appalling from him there. I mean, second half of the year he had a pretty good run of form. I mean, from Austria onwards, points in every Grand Prix, and only won 2 races outside of the top 4 there, an 8th at Singapore and a 5th in Brazil. Was not too shabby from him. Danny Kvyat, again, a very quiet year there. Looks good on paper, but when you consider how well his teammate Pierre Gasly did over the course of the campaign, they're very, very disappointing from Danny Kvyat there. And then you go back to Esteban Ocon, who actually had a really strong start to the year, considering how mediocre Red Bull were. No, he was at Renault at the first half of the season, wasn't he? When you consider how mediocre Renault were early on this year, though. The fact that he got a 3rd place at Monaco, I mean a 5th place at Azerbaijan, a 4th at France, and another 4th at the Chinese Grand Prix there. He was absolutely on fighting form, and you can tell why he came best of the rest at the end of the year there. Stroll and Albon tied on 101 points apiece as well there. You can see 2 DNFs for Albon, 2 at Lance Stroll's, 1 there, of course, 1 podium apiece each. I mean, how many drivers do we have scored podiums at the end of the year? There's actually quite a lot when you look back there. Of course, both 2-2 Motorsport cars, both AlphaTauris, both Mercedes, both Red Bulls got a point. Or, I mean, Ocon wasn't driving for Red Bull at the time, but he did actually get 2 podiums. No, he did get a podium at Singapore as well there. So both Red Bulls got points. Lance Stroll got a podium as well, sorry, I should say, up in the Canadian Grand Prix as well. They almost won his home Grand Prix, finishing ahead of ourselves there and behind George Russell. And then you got Charles Leclerc as well, scoring a podium, and then Carlos Sainz as well getting 2 podiums over the course of the year there. So, I mean, that's half the grid still were able to score podiums at the end of the season as well. It goes to show just, although generally we sort of had a big 3 this championship, still there are a lot of other cars that could fight when they really needed to as well, and potentially, you know, sort of get those big results once in a blue moon as well there. Looking further down the order, though, what a disappointing year it was for Ferrari, and most notably Lewis Hamilton there. The fact Charles Leclerc got 75 points on the board and Ferrari still finished worst of the midfield runners there was incredibly disappointing. But Hamilton obviously moved to Maranello at the halfway stage of the year there. His first race was, of course, Silverstone. Got 10th place there. That was the only point Hamilton scored with Ferrari all season long. 2 DNFs at Hungary and at Russia there. And I mean, a best result after that of 12th place at the Japanese Grand Prix. He was just... I mean, he fell in with the back markers throughout a lot of the second half of the World Championship. I get Ferrari. You know, they're very much focused on Season 6. But yeah, not a good year from Lewis Hamilton. I think the same can be said for Guan Yu Zhou. Obviously, joined Ferrari as a rookie. Not really sure what the plan was there for Ferrari as well. But again, obviously made the swap the other way. Made the swap even, I should say, to Racing Point at the halfway stage of the year there. Scored a couple of points. 9th at Britain. 6th at Hungary. You thought things were falling into place for him. And then no more points. Oh no, 1 more point, sorry, at Mexico late on in the World Championship there. And of course, last of your midfield, Kimi Raikkonen. How on earth he'd maintained a seat up to this point, I'm still not really sure up to now. 3 points finishes over the course of the year, an 8th at Silverstone, and 9th at Belgium, and then a miraculous 4th place at Singapore. I really played the strategy to perfection as well there from Kimi. Whether we'll see him in Season 6, of course, yeah, the driver transfers should be out at the end of the week as well there. But there we go, Season 5 of the My Team Career Mode. I cannot thank you guys enough for the continued support on the series as well. You know, the fact we're, nearly 120 episodes in and you guys are still enjoying these videos is absolutely insane to me as well. And yeah, like I said, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support on the channel. Like I said, Season 6 will be a shortened season. We'll obviously run through all the driver transfer news, all the teams that are moving up, moving down, and of course we'll run through the new shortened calendar as well for you guys. Obviously, I've already confirmed Charles Leclerc will be our teammate as well for the final season, but very, very much looking forward to diving back in, jumping into one more last hurrah on F1 2020s. We'll almost get to 140 episodes when this season is done and dusted, and then of course we'll be looking to F1 2021 in July as well, though, which is crazy the fact that's only about 6 weeks away when the new game does drop as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Always a little bit fun to do one of these recaps, something a little bit different as well. But yeah, we will be back, like I said, over the weekend. Driver transfer news, Australian Grand Prix. It's going to be brilliant. You guys do not want to miss it. I'll see you guys ready for Season 6 of the My Team Career Mode. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.